The late afternoon sun cast long golden shadows across the quiet town. The street was nearly empty, except for a small figure standing by the side of a repair shop. 8-year-old Lily clutched the worn-out handles of her wheelchair. The chair was squeaky, the wheels wobbled, and every push made her arms ache. Her mother had brought it here weeks ago, but the estimate for repairs had been far more than they could afford. Yet Lily had one simple wish. "If my chair worked right," she whispered to herself, "I could race down the sidewalk like the other kids." Inside the garage, Daniel, a middle-aged mechanic with grease on his hands and a weariness in his eyes, was finishing up another long day. Bills stacked high on his counter. His business was barely surviving, and kindness wasn't something he thought he had room for. But when he looked out and saw Lily staring through the glass at the rows of shiny, fixed bikes and scooters, something in his chest tightened. "Hey, kiddo," he said, stepping outside. "Need help?" Lily's shy smile lit up her face. I wish my chair could roll like new again. But Mommy said it cost too much." Her words were innocent, but they struck him harder than any overdue bill ever had. The unexpected decision. Daniel knelt down, inspecting the crooked wheels. He could tell it wasn't just worn parts. It was years of struggle etched into the metal frame. "Come back tomorrow," he said softly, "and I'll see what I can do." Lily's mother, standing nearby, shook her head quickly. "We really can't pay—" But Daniel interrupted. "I didn't ask for money." That night, instead of going home early, he stayed in the shop. Piece by piece, he stripped the chair down, replacing old bearings, welding weak joints, and carefully polishing every spoke until it gleamed under the workshop lights. As he worked, he thought about his own daughter, who had passed away years ago. He remembered her laughter, her small hands tugging at his shirt. Fixing this chair felt like patching up something deep inside himself. The morning surprise. When Lily returned the next day, her eyes widened. The wheelchair looked brand new. Smooth wheels, shiny frame, a bright blue ribbon tied to the handles. "Is this really mine?" she gasped. Daniel smiled, fighting back the lump in his throat. "It's yours, kiddo. No charge." Lily pushed the wheels, and for the first time in years, they glided effortlessly. She let out a laugh so pure it echoed down the street. The twist. But what Daniel didn't expect was what happened next. A local news reporter passing by stopped at the sight of Lily, zooming down the sidewalk with joy. She asked what had happened, and Lily's mother explained. Within days, the story spread. Neighbors shared it online. Donations began pouring into Daniel's small shop. Strangers called, offering support. His business, once on the brink of closing, was suddenly thriving. But more than the money, it was the messages that moved him. Parents of children with disabilities wrote, thanking him for reminding the world that kindness still existed. Some even drove from nearby towns, asking Daniel to repair their children's wheelchairs. The emotional climax. One afternoon, as Daniel worked on another chair, Lily stopped by with a handmade card. On the front, she had drawn a big heart with crayons, and inside were the words, "You fixed more than my chair. You fixed my dreams." Daniel broke down right there, tears streaking through the grease on his face. He realized that in giving away a little kindness, he had found healing for himself too. The uplifting ending from then on. Daniel started a small program, free wheelchair repairs for kids who couldn't afford them. Word spread far beyond the town, and volunteers joined his cause. For Lily, life wasn't suddenly perfect. But every time she raced her friends down the street, she carried the proof that one wish, one act of compassion, could change everything. And for Daniel, the man who once thought he had nothing left to give, he discovered the truth. Sometimes the smallest wish can unlock the greatest purpose. Daniel kept the little card Lily gave him on the wall above his workbench. Every time he glanced at the uneven crayon lines and those simple words, his chest warmed. The shop no longer felt like just a place to fix machines. It had become a place to restore hope. At first, he thought what happened with Lily was a one-time thing. But a week later, another mother came in, hesitating by the door with her teenage son. The boy's wheelchair squeaked loudly, and his face was tight with embarrassment. She explained they had heard about Daniel's kindness. Without thinking twice, Daniel smiled and said, "Leave it here. I'll take care of it." Word kept spreading. Each time a child left his shop rolling smoothly, laughter spilling into the streets, Daniel felt a piece of himself grow lighter. The grief he had carried for years began to soften. He realized that through every tightened bolt and polished wheel, he wasn't just repairing chairs. He was repairing moments of freedom, joy, and dignity. One evening, as he locked up, Lily and her mother walked by. She waved excitedly, zooming ahead on the chair he had fixed. Her mother lingered for a second, her eyes misty. "You may never know what you've really given her," she whispered. "It's more than mobility, it's confidence, it's happiness, it's childhood." Daniel stood there quietly after they left, the hum of the street fading around him. He understood now. Sometimes the greatest changes come not from grand gestures, but from small acts of love given freely. And in giving to others, he had found the missing part of himself. From that day forward, whenever someone asked him why he worked so hard on repairs he didn't charge for, his answer was simple. "Because once, a little girl made a wish, and it reminded me what truly matters." And with that, Daniel's story became more than just a mechanic's kindness. It became a reminder to everyone who heard it that one act of compassion can ripple farther than we ever imagine.